Kelee Ringo is one of the biggest names in the 2023 NFL Draft. He fits the physical profile of the ideal press corner and is a freak of an athlete at 6'2", 215 pounds. He reportedly runs a 4.3 40-yard dash. So in this video, I'm going to break down both his strengths and weaknesses and if his draft status so far is warranted. What stood out most to me when watching Kelee Ringo were his feet and his fluidity for his size. In this first play, he's matched up against Cedric Tillman, who's a likely day 2 or maybe early day 3 pick. And you see that patience and the fluidity and the smoothness as he kick slides at this 45-degree angle to both maintain his inside leverage and to manage the space between him and the receiver as Tillman works vertically. And then you see the seamless transition to turn and run, shoot his hand to widen him towards the sideline. And then once the receiver looks back for the football, he's able to snap his head around, find the football, and make a play for the interception. On this next play, once again, you see the active, short, choppy steps as the receiver works vertically, smooth kick slide to transition. You see the fluidity in his hips. He gets hands on them to widen them towards the sideline. Once the receiver looks back, he looks back, recognizes the ball, and it's an incompletion. On this next play, once again, the short, choppy steps to manage the distance, smooth transition, shoots his hands to press the receiver towards the sideline. And then he's going to look back, find the back shoulder, and then split the hands at the catch point to knock the receiver out of bounds. On this final play, he's at the top of the screen. And this is a really beautiful play where his patience is really on display here. Where the receiver is working slowly, trying to close the distance. And you see him stay square, maintain his inside leverage, and maintain that cushion as well. Not bite on that inside fake, smooth transition to turn and run, stay in phase. And then at the catch point, once again, he's able to split the hands for the pass breakup. And while Ringo profiles as a press man corner at the next level, he's also displayed some good versatility in coverage. On this first play, he's an off man with inside leverage, and he does a good job controlling the distance while kind of in this shuffle. And then once the receiver seemingly declares vertically, you see him open to turn. But once Tillman slams on the brakes, he does a good job reacting and mirroring that brake to decelerate and work back downfield to get back in position. On this play, he's going to be in catch coverage, and he plays with those active, choppy, short steps I mentioned earlier to control and maintain the distance. And then he confronts the route with his two-hand jam, but doesn't overcommit or lunge, stays in good position. He maintains that point of contact on the receiver's back plate to feel the reroute coming and stay in good position. On this next play, he's going to bail to a third on the boundary, and he does a good job of having eyes to the quarterback, keeping the receiver in his peripheral vision to stay on top of this route, not allow him to beat him vertically and stack him, press him towards the sideline, and this pass falls incomplete. On this final play, Georgia's in a cover 2 look. He's to the boundary, and LSU is running a sort of a smash concept where they're trying to put him in conflict with this tight end working underneath, and then this boundary receiver working kind of a 7 or a corner route to the boundary. And while having eyes to the quarterback, he's going to sit underneath on this route to take this away. But he displays really good reaction to where even before the quarterback takes the ball back, he's already committed to get under this and gets depth. And this ball is overthrown, so it falls incomplete. But if this is an accurate pass, on the money pass, he's in perfect position to make a play underneath it. And the last strength I want to talk about is the recognition skills he's flashed. So in this play, he's in outside third responsibilities, off coverage, and he does a good job reading the footwork of the quarterback to where before the quarterback even splits his hands to take this ball back, you already recognize he understands the route concept. He knows they're trying to hit the speed out. He's able to plant, redirect, open, and drive down on this to make the stop. On this play, he's outside leveraged in press man, and he gets a really good physical jam on the receiver. And while on the receiver's shoulder with outside leverage, you see him get eyes back to the quarterback. And he's able to get his eyes back downfield and recognize the action working from the opposite side to peel off his man, get eyes back to the quarterback, and then break this pass up. On the final play, on the goal line, you see him pre-snap get his eyes inside. And then post snap, he remains disciplined, remains patient, and doesn't overcommit to drive down on this receiver on the inside release. He instantly gets his eyes back inside and recognizes the slot receiver working back outside on the switch release. And then you see the fluidity to flip his hips, open, get eyes to the quarterback, find the football, and then break up the jump ball. And now I want to get into some of the issues I have with Ringo's game. And the two that showed up the most frequently were his tendency to give up free releases and his poor route field down the field. So on this first play against Cedric Tillman, the beginning of this rep is actually pretty good. He plays with active feet, shoots his two-hand jam, widens him toward the sideline, but he loses that point of contact with his inside hand, and you see him commit his body, his shoulders, his head, all vertical to take away the vertical route, but he can't feel or anticipate Tillman when he triggers down on this curl, and you see the separation that leads to multiple yards of separation, and then after the catch, he can't make the tackle, and it leads to a first down. Similar thing on this next play where he prematurely is going to open the gate outside. He doesn't stay square off the line of scrimmage. And then when the receiver plans to redirect and work inside and vertical, he doesn't get a jam on him. And then he gets stacked vertically and loses. And on this one, once again, he's going to allow a free inside release. No hand usage. He doesn't use that inside hand to kind of hold the receiver's vertical momentum. Allows a free release, and then while in position downfield, he doesn't maintain that point of contact like I mentioned earlier, so he can't feel this inside break coming. And then you see the poor eye discipline once again, like you saw in the first play, where his eyes aren't on that shoulder blade, on that low shoulder. They're looking off somewhere else, I'm not sure. And he also doesn't have that point of contact, so he can't feel this double move coming. And you see how late he is to react to it, and we're talking about 3 yards of separation. And due to him allowing a lot of free releases, he often finds himself in recovery mode off the line of scrimmage. And despite his great speed, he struggles to find the football or get his head around when he is in recovery mode. So in this first place at the top of the screen in press man, and like we saw in a lot of these other clips, he doesn't get hands on the receiver, allows a free vertical release, and finds himself in recovery mode trying to catch up. And then he doesn't get his head around once the receiver looks back to the football. And instead of getting his head around and try to make a play on the football, he just runs through the receiver and commits pass interference. On this next play, at the bottom of the screen, he's going to bite hard on this inside jab by the receiver in recovery mode once again. And he doesn't get his head around to find the football, even though he's in good position here to do so. And he runs through the receiver and commits another pass interference. And the last issue with his game I want to touch on are his inconsistencies as a tackler. On this play, he's going to get beat across his face inside on the slant route, and he's going to come in too high on the tackle attempt, completely miss, and leads to yards after the catch. On this next play, he's to the boundary at the bottom of the screen. He's going to trigger down on the throw to the flat, but prior to contact, you see him drop his eyes, lunge forward, and he whiffs on the tackle in space. Kelee Ringo has all the physical traits of the ideal press man corner. There are not many corners who at 6'2", 215 pounds can match his fluidity, movement skills, and straight line speed. But his lack of hand usage at the line of scrimmage and his tendency to allow free releases combined with his poor route field down the field lead to a lot of inconsistencies on his tape. So overall, Ringo's physical traits are undeniable and give him legit Pro Bowl potential in my eyes. But I do believe he is a couple years away from being that player due to the flaws that I mentioned in this video. I personally wouldn't feel comfortable taking him in the top 10, which is where I've seen him mocked very often. And while it is early in the process for me and there is more guys I need to watch, at this current moment, I do not view him as the best corner in the 2023 NFL Draft. And if you enjoyed this video and are interested in my opinions on some of the other top prospects in this draft class, subscribe and check out the other videos in my 2023 NFL prospects playlist, which is in the link in the description below. Like, comment, all those things. Yeah, that's it.